Merkel.
What does the goddamn line say, Tom?
Not use gendered language.
Then what? I'll be a jail!
Look, you're going completely sideways, man.
It's a big club, and you ain't in it.
How dare you?
Mr. Speaker, the President of the United States!
I'm Chris Hansen with Dave on NBC.
Jack Marius Tac-Theratrix.
I am Spartacus.
Jackson, Sacramento, he, him. Steven Seagal.
Sex offender guy.
I'm Keith Morris.
This is Muammar Gaddafi.
I'm Rick James, bitch.
Sorting through the lies.
The hijackers blocks from the World Trade Center crash site, if you can believe that.
We cannot track 2.3 trillion.
Long plan for world domination.
Have you ever been in a Turkish prison?
I have sent 6 of my Libyan missiles to blow up the Sears hardware department.
Nothing could be more fun than jumping off a cliff with 2 German bisexuals.
Oh, you English are so superior, aren't you?
Thank you, comrade.
And now, macroaggressions.
That's what assholes call it.
With your host,
Buddy, I don't know who you are, but you're about to get chlamydia.
Charlie Robinson.
Hey, Whitey, where's your hat?
You want to drop the blame on Charlie and say it's all Charlie's fault.
He was a retard.
I get some goddamn diuretic.
Welcome to Macroaggressions. I'm your host, Charlie Robinson. If you are watching us on Rockfin, Odyssey, Band.video, Vigilante.tv, or you are listening wherever podcasts are served, thanks a million. Appreciate the support. You can also catch us on Fringe FM. We're a radio show. We go out on Mondays and Fridays. So catch us there. Thanks to our sponsors. I am very serious about this. This newer sponsor here, Legal Shield, I think this is something that everybody needs to consider. At the very least, go to the website and check it out for yourself. We built our own website. It's www.don'tgetpushedaround.com. The reason why we came up with that name for it was because, well, let's be honest here. If you don't have legal representation, you will get pushed around. It happens to all of us. So what Legal Shield has done, they've been in business for 50 years. They're have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. They're available in the United States and Canada for those customers there. But what they've done is they've taken the collective buying power of all of us and directed it towards high-powered law firms in your area. They just pick one law firm, direct the money towards that in your area, and all of a sudden, you've got yourself a lawyer. You've got somebody that will go over the contracts for you. You've got somebody that can draw up your last will and testament. Do you have a will and testament? Have you updated it? If you don't even have one, you got to get one, okay? For yourself, for your spouse, you've got to get, as an adult, you don't want to do it, but we've got to do it, right? Nobody wants to spend $1,000 for one of these documents, another $1,000 if you've got a spouse, another $1,000 for a medical directive, a financial power of attorney. All of these things you need if you're going to be a functioning adult in this society and not leave this to your family when you pass away. So look, again, I think that the theme of this show has always been to be proactive, recognize what we need to do. Let's do it early. Let's do it the right way so that we don't have to do it later and have it cost us a ton of money or effort or whatever, frustration. So just do this. Just go to the website and take a look for yourself. It's $1 a day. It's $29.95 a month for the legal plan. You can add on additional features. There's an ID Shield component to it that's like $15 a month. That'll give you credit monitoring, reputation management, password manager. There's a small business plan. If you run a small business and you need a legal department, well, guess what? You have the option to add this on. It's very reasonably priced. And in fact, my suggestion to you when you sign up for this is that immediately within the first week or two, set an appointment with the law firm in your area that you're assigned to. You'll have access to, you'll have an app on your phone. You can just push a button and call them. Set an appointment with them and tell them, I need my last will and testament for myself, for my spouse. I need a medical directive. I need a financial power of attorney. And I want to get those documents and knock them all out with you right away. If you do that, you have now paid for the service. It'd take you 10 years to pay for that, what you just saved yourself. So it's already paying yourself off. I suggest that you take advantage of this, use it right away. Look, if your work is giving you a hard time, they say, well, things have changed and we're going to maybe require you to get some sort of, shots or something or whatever to work here. And they send you the document and they say, well, you need to sign this. No, you need to send that to your attorney first. You need to have them take a look at it. That's what rich people do. They don't sign contracts without having it go through their attorney. You have this option now. It levels the playing field. That's why we picked the web domain don'tgetpushedaround.com. So take a look at it for yourself. You'll never get a hard sell from me, but I believe in this product. I signed up for this immediately. Tony Arterburn was the one that brought me to this. He's Wise Wolf Gold and Silver. He's my sponsor there. He's been with them for 20 years and it makes a lot of sense. So I personally am signed up for it myself. I think it'll benefit you. I wouldn't bring you a product if I didn't think it was worth it. So take a look. Legal Shield is the company. Don'tgetpushedaround.com. See for yourself. Well, I normally do 2 ad reads, but we're going to have a human ad read here. Our favorite guest, the most requested and the number one guest that we've had on this show. He is the founder of Chemical Free Body. He is the health hero. He's the host of the Health Hero podcast, where 140 plus episodes now. Of course, I'm talking about Tim James. Welcome back, Tim. How are you? Good to see you.
Hey, dude, I'm doing awesome. I'm glad to be back, and a great read for Legal Shield. I'm actually a member.
Oh, are you?
I was a financial advisor before I was a health advisor. So I would always recommend getting a trust in place. Always get a trust in place.
There you go.
So because the bottom line is that, I had a gal on my show, on the Health Hero show. Her name was Presence Grace, and she's a death doula. And the reason I had her on my show was because what she said, it was very profound. There's also birth doulas, right? They help young mothers and fathers. Right. Especially that haven't, they're just a very integral support person. It makes the pregnancy so much better. But there's also a death doula. And I was like, wow. And I met this gal. Imagine having a name Presence. And then she just married this dude and his last name is Grace. So her name is Presence Grace.
Wow.
And she's the death doula. I mean, that's like that's awesome all on its own. But so over 80 times she's spent weeks and months with people as they're exiting, and dying. And she said, you can never truly live until you face your death. And a lot of us don't realize for some reason, hey, someday your heart is going to stop beating and you're going to stop. You will take your last breath. So the problem is that we live in this societally constructed, contractual society right now. And you need to get that stuff taken care of, because if you don't have an estate plan, yes, you do. The state has everything planned out for you. And guess what they have planned for you? Not much. Yeah. So it's a really good thing, because on Friday, people just don't want to go talk about dying and spend thousands of dollars, right? Right. They want to go have pizza. So that's why people kick the can down the road on this. This was a big thing that we did as financial advisors. We prepare for the worst and then we expect the best. So you will take a last breath. And I think everybody should have a trust in place. And, the Legal Shield deal can help them, because it's there for them.
I agree. I think it's just smart. And nobody wants to spend money on these documents. You know what I mean? Like, you're like, oh, it's going to cost me $1,000 for this, and then maybe $1,000 for this other one.
But here's the deal. If you don't have this stuff done, like I've seen stuff like this, it destroys families.
I know.
Like Billy said, hey, Dad said I could have a crescent wrench. And Johnny's like, no, Dad said I could. And then they end up fighting tooth and nail. They don't talk to each other anymore. And now Mom's sitting there, no husband, and our kids aren't talking because of the crescent wrench. I mean, it's just, don't leave a shit show for your family. I mean, it's like, just do something about it now. Be proactive. Yeah. Like we're going to teach people about their health. It's
I know. Well, that's the thing, is like you are always talking about being proactive with your health. It's like, okay, we can think of it like a car, right? You've got your brakes are squeaking. You're going to need new brakes. At some point, you got to get them. You got to take care of this stuff. So do you want to do it now before it becomes a big problem, or do you want to wait and let it compromise the entire structure of your car. And so with our bodies, same thing. You get a little something going on, you don't treat it. Maybe you go, mañana, we'll do it. Like you said, Friday, let's go get pizza instead. And next thing you know, this small problem has turned into a bigger problem, and it's infected and it's spread to different areas. And now you're in a real situation. So one of the things that I really like about you, and I like about Chemical Free Body, and I've been taking your products for a while, and I'm not trying to turn this into an infomercial, but it's being proactive with your health instead of reactive when the problems come. If you just do this stuff now, then the problems don't come right away. It maybe takes a while, but you invest the time, you invest the money, and you just make a decision to get yourself healthy now. And it's the best investment you can make is in your own health, right? Because there's nothing more expensive than the regret of being sick and knowing this was preventable. I could have done something about this. I chose not to. So let's just talk about this. Let's talk about this, Tim, as we're getting into the winter. And I thought it was important to have you back on to talk about, like winterizing your home, winterizing your RV, winterizing, your car. There's all these things that you do. It's like, okay, winter is coming. It's scheduled. We know it's a dark winter, according to Joe Biden. And we know it's there. We know what it's going to look like. And you do some preventative measures to your home in advance of that so that your home holds up. Why don't we do preventative measures to our body so that our body holds up, right? So I figure you could come in here and tell us how to winterize our body. A little winter protection.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Absolutely. That sounds fun, man. Nobody's ever put it in those terms before, but I totally get it. Because I always, when I'm teaching people, I always like, your body's like a car, right? And if it's not running right, the check engine light comes on and it tells you, hey, the air pressure's low in the tire, or the engine oil's low, or whatever, or, oh, you need new cylinders. And if you keep driving that car with that light blinking, number one, it could leave you stranded. It could break down, right? That could be in a health situation, a heart attack. Okay. I'm not feeling good. I'm light-winded, kind of getting lightheaded. Oh, I'll forget about it. And then boom, you have a heart attack. 25% of cases, you're dead. That car could blow up. And, every once in a while you see a car go on fire on the side of the road, right? It happens. But what we should do is when the blinking lights are happening, like the check engine light, we should, get it into the shop now before it becomes a big problem, or it leaves me stranded and breaks down. That's what would be the deal. But with our bodies, check body lights would be, well, you're overweight like I was. You have skin issues like eczema like I had, where they were cracking and bleeding and sticking to my pants and shirts, or your energy's low. This is a national crisis here. I mean, the energy levels of everybody's low, mental fog, anxiety, depression, whatever your signal is. Maybe you have cancer, whatever, Hashimoto's, Graves' disease, colitis, Crohn's, diverticulitis, all this stuff. Your body is like, these are check body lights. Okay. Mm-hmm. But are you taking the car into the shop? Right. So what we're going to be talking about today is if you're in that camp or you want to winterize, let's take the body into the shop, and you're going to be the doctor. We want to teach you how to become your own doctor. We want to teach you how to self-heal, just like every other natural animal on this planet does. And because the bottom line is that our health right now is so bad, it's the worst it's ever been in human history. Yet we have all these medical advances. So when Western medicine is awesome. It is awesome when you get into a car wreck, you get shot in the guts, you break an arm, they're going to patch you up. The diagnostic equipment's amazing. And the doctors and the nurses, unbelievable. We need that as a part of our medical system. But for chronic care, absolute fail. Absolute complete fail, because on most part, because you are going in and you're going to get surgery, you're going to get radiated, or they're going to put you on some type of synthetic something. It's chemicals, cut you or radiate you. That's the solution. And there's none of that out in nature. It just doesn't happen. So we believe that we have to reduce our stress. You have to have things in your life to reduce your stress. Certain, whether it's going on walks, hanging out with friendly people that you like, doing breath work and meditation. These are all things that you can do. Getting out in nature, hanging around little kids, your grandkids, you're spending time with people you love. These are the things we need to reduce our stress in our life. That's a big killer. Number two, detoxify all the time, daily. It's never going to end. We live in a freaking polluted world. The umbilical cord studies show us that every child being born today has almost 200 cancer-causing chemicals in the womb, and now children are being born with cancer. So as adults, we have to recognize this and say, wow, if it's that bad for the young mothers and these young babies, it's going to be a lot worse for me because I've had more time to bioaccumulate these no-see toxins that are in the air and the water and the food and the cosmetics and the clothing that we're wearing. It's everywhere. We have to be aware of this. And number three, we have to nutrify the body. We have to plug ourselves back into nature. And I'm not just talking about vitamins and minerals and trace minerals. I'm talking about bacteria that have been destroyed from our gut since the 1960s that are gone. This is like losing a foot. Imagine being born with no foot. And then all of a sudden you're 45 years old and you wake up one morning, you got a brand new foot. What would your life be like? So there's certain bacteria that were living in our gastrointestinal tract for the entirety of time humans have been alive. And all of a sudden in the 60s, they disappeared. Well, what happened to them? Well, antibiotics, pesticides, fungicides, herbicides, they knocked them out. And when you reintroduce these types of bacteria into your gut, it's like getting a new foot because your oxytocin levels go up, your sleep improves. We can get into this. I mean, we can do it another topic, but that alone. And then, other nutrients, sunshine, again, love, being around the right type of people. There's a lot of different ways to nutrify the body that are missing today. Exercise and movement. These are all things that the body needs once and craves it. Will give you a healthy lifestyle. So I guess now we can switch gears and getting into like how we're going to winterize the body.
Well, I want to say something real fast because we've mentioned three things in the last 5 minutes that I can tell you from personal experience happen. We talked about last will and testament because you're going to die sometime. We talked about heart attacks and we talked about stress. I can tell you from personal experience, watching my dad go out one day for a jog and drop dead from a heart attack and never come home due to stress, heart attack, and guess what? Didn't have a will in place. It's a real bummer, okay? When that stuff happens, it's chaos. So let's not pretend that it doesn't happen. It does. We can prevent some of this. We can't prevent all of this. Let's be proactive on the areas where we can make changes. Let's get ourselves, maybe it's legal paperwork taken care of. It's reducing our stress. It's improving our diet. There's always going to be random occurrences that come out of nowhere and get you. And there's not a whole lot we can do about that. But I will feel a whole lot better if I know that my audience is doing things that are putting them in a better position to thrive in this world, to not be sick, I want people to stick around. We're accumulating people in this audience. I know you are too with your Health Heroes show. And I want them to stick around. I want them to listen and I want them to feel good while they're listening. And I know that it's possible because I've been taking your products as an example. I've been pretty healthy my whole life. I think that scared the shit out of me when I was 16 and watched what I considered to be a perfectly healthy person just not come home. So I decided I'm going to exercise. I'm going to take care of myself and do that. For a lot of people didn't. A lot of people haven't done that. And they've been making excuses. And there comes a point where you go, okay, let's get honest with ourselves. Am I going to continue to make excuses into this next new year in 2023? Or is this going to be the year that I finally actually do something about it? So let's talk about some things that people can do that are, you always come in with great tips that don't cost anything. And if people are interested in going to Chemical Free Body, I suggest they take a look at everything that you've got. And if they want to use the promo code macro on their way out, they'll save themselves some money. You have a double your money back price guarantee, which I don't think anybody takes you up on it because your products actually work. I know that because I've been taking them now for 2.5 years and I feel better than I've ever felt. So I know they work. You know they work. I think the audience is going to figure this out if they haven't already. So let's talk about some simple things that people can do.
Absolutely. So our product line is just part of our toolkit. We're primarily a coaching company. Our mission over here is to help the working class. Like I said, become your own doctor, learn how to self-heal, learn how to be autonomous, take care of yourself, boost your immune system, get your energy back, get your life back so you can fight for freedom. That's what we're all about over here. So let me put this into context. Now, usually people are like, oh, it's flu season. I'm going to get sick and everybody's getting colds and flus and the NyQuil comes out and all this stuff. That is not the case. There is no such thing as flu season. The flu does not magically just frickin' show up in the fall and start attacking people. What's happening is your immune systems are dropping for many reasons. Number one, it's getting colder. Okay. Number two, and that's just the way it is. Our bodies are supposed to be within 1,500 miles of the equator where it's more sunny. Look at your skin. Where I'm at right now above the 45th parallel, it's freaking cold outside. And if I don't have heaters, I'm dead. I shouldn't be living up here right now in a natural. I'm not built for it. Okay. So number one, it's colder, right? Which closes off things, closes the body. Now, I'm not saying that's not a good thing. The cold can build resilience. You go hot, cold. That can build the immune system too. But for the most part, it's cold. Number two, your immune system is dropping because you've been out. It's been summer. You've been doing all this stuff. And now it's like, you got to come back home. It's fall and the kids are going back to school. It's hectic. You're buying new school clothes and pants, and you got to get their 3-ring binders and get their classes and get the kids ready to go off to college. And it's kind of spooky because your freshman's leaving your house. The kids are leaving and there's a lot of stress there. And then what else happens? Then it's parties, holiday season. You're up late. You're eating more sugar and sweets. You're boozing it up a lot. You're getting less sleep. There's stress. You got to get presents. There's financial stress because you got to drive to grandma's house for the Thanksgiving dinner. There's just a lot of travel. There's a lot of booze. There's less sleep. Your immune system's dropping. That's why people are getting colds and flus, Charlie. It's not because it's flu season. It's because it's the season of indulgence and lack of self-care. That's what's happening. So just to correct that, so people don't think there's some magical flu being shot out from an alien behind the moon. It's your immune system's dropping. That's what's happened. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what do we do about this to keep the immune system up? Well, with our clients, what we do is we have them always focus on the basics, making sure they're staying hydrated. Okay. If you're going to go out and have some holiday parties and do that stuff, do it. Like, that's part of like being a human being. That's socializing, being with your family and friends. Those are the good times. Yeah. If you want to have a couple of drinks, do it. But be mindful about this stuff. Be smart about it. Like I tell all of our clients, do not leave without your supplements. Take Green 85 with you. Literally, I have so many people. We're actually going to create, it's not on there yet, but it might be when somebody listens to this, but we're going to create the hangover bundle. Because, it's like, I got guys that are kind of rednecky because I'm rednecky, and I tell them about the benefits of Green 85, the juice form of this stuff. And they're like, yeah. But then I tell them, hey, you want a hangover cure? And they're like, yeah, what's that? It's like, well, it's these greens, mix it with water and drink it. Okay, I'll try it. And they're like, dude, that thing is the best hangover cure ever. Right. So you got to meet people where they're at and what they're thinking. Yeah. It's just funny to me.
I take my Green 85 every morning. I bought a 6-pack of it so that I would be sort of stocked up for the winter and drink it early, today.
Yeah.
Before we did.
Yeah. That's awesome. So
I understand that some people are like, well, I can't get to the gym and I've got kids and it's an hour at the gym and it takes me 20 minutes to get there. Okay. I get that.
Nope.
But I don't respect it, but I understand the time management thing.
Well, let's go ahead.
Green 85, it takes you like 3 minutes to like pour, get water or juice, add this, stir it up and drink it. Like, come on, like the time, I don't have the time. I get, if you don't have the money, that's one thing. I can certainly understand that. But to say you don't have the time, that your solutions are so require such minimal time investments that it's not even a worthy.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that, because I don't have time. We get that a lot. A lot of people are really busy. I get it. But the reality is they're freaking tired. They don't have the energy to go want to do it. That's where they're at, or the mental capacity to do it. And their idea is like, okay, I got to get up at 5 a.m. I got to go kill myself at the gym. And if they can actually get over that hurdle and do it, then they actually do it. Then the next day they wake up and they're so damn sore, they can't move. And they're like, screw this, give me a bagel. They're done, right? So you have to be smart about this. So what we tell people is like, don't exercise up front and don't change your diet. Start detoxing. Start with the basics. Get some water in your system. Chew your food until liquefied. Avoid liquids with meals and do some breath work before you eat our Core 4 Secrets. And for those of you that are new, when you go to the website, that's part of our free gift. We give you the Core 4 Secrets manual if you're new. You get a free 30-minute health consultation, and we actually give you a free $10 gift card when you come back. We have a nice little package there for people that are new. coming in, and anybody else can get the manual too. But anyway, I want to talk about like some things you can do that are simple, because like as far as the gym goes, dude, I bought the X3 bar, and my workouts are literally like 10 minutes a day. So, but that will come later. Changing your diet will come later. If you're stuck in it and you can't move, like Charlie said, we just start drinking some water, taking some greens, taking some gut detox, some toxin detox, and cleaning the body up. And just start with something small like that. And then all of a sudden the energy comes up and you're like, wow, it worked. I feel better. I have more energy. I'm playing catch with my kids now after work. I have some energy to maybe do some exercise. Let's go take the dogs for a walk. And now your little dog's not overweight either, because the dog starts losing weight, right? They're usually a reflection of the owner and what the owner feeds them and how much movement they have. So, it's really important, again, to meet people where they're at. And I know a lot of people are just really, they're just like I was. They're overweight, they're tired, and they have a mental fog, and they're kind of stuck in a rut. So we want to kind of break you out of the rut with minimal effort, less than 5 minutes a day, by using some naturally occurring detox and nutrition things to get them started. But then we can start talking about what kind of foods to eat and proper food combining and what movement to start off with. And movement can be the best movement's walking. Just go for walks and mini trampolines. These are two of the most easiest low impact things that you should do. And stretching, just daily stretching. I'm a yin yoga instructor, so I totally recommend yin yoga. It's a yoga that takes no effort at all. There's no sweating. You just are in a stretching posture for 3 to 5, 10 minutes. And then you switch to the next one. You do that one for 3, 5, 10 minutes. And it's unbelievable. And all my sports buddies that I've got to do this always freak out because they can't believe how much flexibility they have afterwards. And they can't believe how good it works and how their pain and soreness is going away. All right. So let's go back to winterizing the body. So I just talked to you about our core 4 secrets. Drinking lots of water, very important. 95% of people are cellular dehydrated. Means your cells don't have enough water in them. This is actually a national crisis right here. So just by doing that, you're going to boost your immune system. You're going to boost your mental clarity, and you're going to create the river in your body and get it moving again. So we want blood flow to all arteries, all veins, and all capillaries. We want water is instrumental in your lymphatic system as well, which is your garbage removal system. Very important today because we live in such a polluted place. So you want to move your body. You want to have lots of water and oxygen. That's how the lymph moves. The lymph doesn't have a heart. So your movement is the heart pumping for the lymph. So you actually pump your own garbage removal system. This is why you want to do movement primarily before you think, oh, I'm going to exercise and have a 6-pack. No, you want to move to get the garbage out. You got to pump that lymph. So that's why movement is critical nowadays, is you want to look at it that way. This is a very smart thing to do. And it's also a necessary thing to do. And then there's other benefits like, you're going to sleep a lot better. And it's going to reduce, exercise reduces depression amazingly.
Yeah.
All right. So when somebody's also trying to winterize their body, sleep is just as important as water. So Charlie, when I look at things like how important is a nutrient? Well, it's in order of importance. How long can you live without it? That's kind of a smart way to look at it, right? So oxygen's number one, because without oxygen, you're dead in 4 to 7 minutes. That's pretty important nutrient. I think it's number one. Number two is water and sleep, because without water, you die in 11 days. Without sleep, you die in 11 days. So those are a tie for number two. So remember earlier when I said people are up late, booze and stuff, but I said up late. So long trips, airplane flights, driving the whole family, like Christmas vacation. It's like you're in the car with the kids and stuff. And sleep's very important. So it's very important drinking lots of water, purified water, restructured water, and then also getting lots of sleep. Yeah. That's very important. So just don't neglect your sleep too much. Make it a priority. And naps are a good thing too. You can take a nap. If you've never taken naps before, they're great. Like you could set your clock for 15 minutes, 30 minutes in the middle of the day, and just get the room dark and go take a nap, recharge yourself. We have a lot of our high performance people that we coach. Half of them are already doing naps.
All of my pro athlete clients that I had when we were doing media training for them all napped.
Yeah,
it was weird. It's like they all got the memo or something. I don't know.
Yep. Yeah, because they're looking for an advantage. They're looking for an advantage in their competition. right? So naps are I mean, what's that going to cost you? Take a nap. Like that, just 15 minutes. You're investing. So we're not actually, people are saying, I don't have time. The strategies we're giving you are actually creating time for you because you're going to live longer. And more importantly, your quality of life while you're alive is going to be much better and you're going to get more done because you have the energy to do it.
Yeah.
So we're talking about creating time. And so we want to just wedge things in and get you started. And we want to get a pillar in place, a foundation. And a lot of the pillars are like, again, water, chewing your food, avoiding liquids with meals, doing breath work, and, detoxing. And like I said, we have part of our toolkit is the products to detox and stuff like that. So
yeah, I went through that detox in a box bundle with the toxin detox and the
it's actually called the I know we both called it that, and people keep
it's
those. Thank you for your emails. We get a lot of them. Where's the detox in a box? I was thinking about changing the name of it because it's actually called the Total Energy and Detox Bundle. So if you're looking for what Charlie and I take on a monthly basis, that's what it's called, the Total Energy and Detox Bundle. It's literally like a clinic in a box, or detox in a box. It's the full kit. And
it is,
that's what it is.
It is the easiest thing you can do. It is quite literally a handful of capsules. They don't taste weird. I'm super sensitive to vitamins and things like that. So if I take them, usually I'll feel a little queasy. Never got that, not one single time with any of your stuff. So thankfully, but those are just capsules. Take 3 of these, take 3 of these, 2 of these, 2 of the, and you, with water, and then you do your green 85 and you're done. Like if you can't do that, if you can't find 5 minutes in your day to do that, then I think it's more an issue of like, you just don't want to do it. You're making excuses for not wanting to do it. So I think it's the time to just say, I'm not gonna have those excuses anymore. I'm just gonna step up and do it. And I would say, look, I'm not saying you have to go spend a bunch of money on products either. Listen to Tim's like free advice, like the not drinking liquid while eating. When you first told me that like 2.5 years ago, it was very weird. And I've been doing it and now it's not weird to me, but I'm conscious of it because of you. And I don't really know the ins and outs of if it's working or how it's working, but I just know that that that's how we're supposed to do it. So I've changed myself.
Let's take that point. Like, let's take away the cars and the roads and the houses and all that stuff. And we're naked. We're running around out in nature because that's for the entirety of time people have been on this planet. We've mostly done that. This human experience in the last 300, 400, 500 years, 1,000 years, it's like the clothing and the fire and the Thomas Edison. People forget that it wasn't very long ago. We were beheading people. I mean, I guess they're still doing it today. And before that, we're running around, doing that kind of stuff. So, if that's the case and we're walking around, we would let's just even say more advanced. So now we're nomadic. Now we're kind of in packs. We're traveling. And when the springtime comes and we have the spring rains and the sun's moving up, in the north, people would follow the sun. Why? Because all that fresh tinder and the stuff. So we would walk for 2 or 3 days. We wouldn't eat nothing. We were walking. We would come, let's say, to a meadow, and we would find the ancestors of cabbage or spinach, or in the fall on our way back down, tubers and nuts and berries and stuff like that. So then we would eat one food monolithically, right? If you found a tree in the fall and it's walnuts, and you're like, oh shit, you're cracking up, you'd eat walnuts. You didn't have a halibut that somebody caught. You didn't have asparagus that was shipped up here from Peru and then finish it off with some, Haagen-Dazs ice cream. Right? That's improper food combining, mixing a bunch of shit because your body is designed to eat one food monolithically. And that's where people get confused. So I have a whole show on proper food combining. I have a whole class that I teach. I have class notes. And then, like I said, our group coaching members actually have access to those class notes. And then I have them go watch the podcast. They take notes. It's like they can take the class by themselves and learn in an hour, and they'll know more about food combining than most doctors and nurses. They'll have that information, right? So the point is that our bodies are not designed to eat lots of different foods together. If you're going to do it, you got to combine them. But the reason why you chew your food really, really well and you secrete enzymes in your mouth. most of digestion, Charlie, takes place in the mouth. Those enzymes then go into your stomach and they break down the fats and the starches. But it started in the mouth. Okay. All that started in the mouth and then it went down there. So why do you not drink liquids? Because you'll dilute those digestive enzymes.
Gotcha.
Again, you're sitting there under the tree eating walnuts. There's not a bottle of wine there, right? There's no apple juice. There's no purified, restructured water. Well, you might have to walk a little ways to find a creek, but it's the timing of it. People
Gotcha.
in nature didn't have a glass because they didn't exist. The glass was a river or a pond, and they'd find the food, then they have to go find the river or the pond later. That's why we don't drink liquids with our food.
Makes sense. I mean, but you're right. We're in a popcorn and Coke society where you sit down in the movie theaters and we wonder why we're so unhealthy. We wonder why we're so unhappy. We're so unhappy because we're unhealthy too. It's hard to be, it's hard to feel good about yourself and be super happy when you feel like shit. And so I think the first step is like improve your happiness. Well, okay, let's improve your health first and then watch that sort of branch out into everything, right?
All right, so let's talk about a huge. Since COVID happened, we've been getting lots of phone calls, because the education now, people got really educated. A lot of people on how to boost their immune system, especially for viral loads, right? Mm-hmm. So I would get a lot of calls, Tim, where do I get the best vitamin A? Because people would learn that by like eating green leafy vegetables, they could get beta carotene, they could get vitamin A, and vitamin A actually helps to strengthen the cellular wall so viruses can't get through it. So people learned about that. All right, Tim, where do I get the best absorbable vitamin C? Right, because people learned that vitamin C is a massive antioxidant. So it's a vitamin that your body doesn't naturally produce. And we all know about what happened to the British sailors and the scurvy back in the day. They thought it was a disease. Stay away from them. And it was actually a vitamin C deficiency. So they gave them lemons and limes. And that's why the British sailors were called limeys. It was a very dangerous job back then. You could die, very high paid, but dangerous. And they actually lost more people into the British Navy than they did in all their wars. Just the sailors dying of scurvy, vitamin C deficiency killed more men than all people in Britain for the wars.
Wow.
Vitamin C deficiency. And, you learn things from like Dr. Shiva. Vitamin C actually is like a shock absorber to reduce that cytokine storm in the lungs when you get in that fluid buildup. So if you have pneumonia or COVID or, flu, any type of respiratory infection, vitamin C is amazing. And I would say this, I talked about this last night because we did vitamin C in depth in my group coaching community last night. So we had our formulator, Dr. Treadway, on. And I would suggest everybody here listening be proactive about this. You need to know about vitamin C IVs. These are a very powerful arrow to have in your quiver of health techniques and strategies. Vitamin C IVs. What happened this happened, I think it was in March of 2020, right when COVID first started happening. There was a Dr. Ryan Pageant. He was a medical doctor up in Seattle, and he was like a 44-year-old former Northwestern football star, 6'2", 220, stacked dude. He never thought he was going to get sick. He was treating elderly patients with COVID, and he picked it up and got sick. And, he wasn't doing good. He was going downhill. So the doctors, they put him on a ventilator and respirator, all this stuff. And he was dying. His kidneys and lungs, everything was shutting down with that protocol, obviously. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
And, but they said, I have this in the Los Angeles Times, in the media. They actually said it. Their doctors used a radical thing, and they used a immunosuppressant drug and high dose vitamin C IV. And I'm like, there are C IVs for 12 years. And like all of our cancer patients are doing it and all this stuff. So we have it, and the dude healed and he was fine. So here's the deal. Do not wait until you get something. You have to get a vitamin C IV. You can actually be proactive and get a couple a year. You can get them quarterly, but they can be expensive. What I would recommend you do is go meet with a local naturopath that's been doing it for 20, 30 years. They're really into it for the right reasons. And you can usually get them for about $50 to $100 less a session, because they just have done it a long time. And they're not just out there trying to supercharge people for it. Okay. The other thing I would say is make sure you try to get the tapioca based one. That would be better. And ask them for that, or try to get the most natural source of it. But here's the deal. If you wait until you're sick, then guess what? You have to be onboarded. So you're going to have to spend time filling out paperwork, becoming a client, and then right out of the gate, because of they're getting worried about getting sued today because of the way we are today. It's another reason, I guess, to have Legal Shield, because everybody's sue happy.
Right.
Right. Is you want to have that stuff done ahead of time, because when you're sick and not feeling good, you don't want to have to go into a doctor and fill out a form. And then like, well, I need a 100-gram dose of vitamin C. They're like, well, I'll give you 20 or 25, because they're afraid. They don't know if you're going to have a reaction to it or not. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So they got to start you off low. So get in, get set up, get your relationship, get a few IVs, bump you up so you can do 50 or 100. So if something like that does happen, you can drop the hammer on it. You get a cold, you get a flu. I'm telling you, that is a hammer that you can drop. But you can also take vitamin C orally. The third thing people started telling us about, hey, Tim, where do I get the best vitamin D3? And how much should I take? The next one, zinc. Zinc came up as because vitamin D shoots holes in the virus wall. That's why it's like a sniper for the military, right? Zinc actually stops the viruses from replicating once they get into the cell. But you have to have something to transport the zinc into the cell. That's where quercetin comes out. So a lot of people that are listening probably know all this stuff. So the quercetin's like the taxi cab that gets the zinc into the cell, right? So these are some of the things that have really come around lately. And I finally told Dr. Treadway, I said, I'm literally getting tired of not having a good vitamin C product. These are all the questions that I'm getting. These are what everybody wants. And people are tired of spending $200 to $600 a month getting the best sources. Because I was sending people to certain companies for all of them, and it was adding up to about $200 to $600. Yeah. So we actually built a product called V-Stack that has all of them in there. And it's also a multi-mineral complex.
I know about it. And can I share a personal story? In fact, I brought the little bottle with me. It's right here. It's like a little eyedropper, right?
Yeah.
So I'm getting ready to leave. It's the first week of October. I'm getting ready to leave to go to Hawaii for a week for my 50th birthday. And I'm super excited. And obviously, you want to have as much fun on your vacation. You want to feel fine. About 2 days before that, I felt a sore throat coming on. I was like, oh, shit. And I said, well, I don't want to be sick while I'm there. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hit it really hard with the stuff that I've got from Tim. So I brought out, I had 3 of these V-Stacks, 3 V-Stacks and 3 multi-shrooms, right? And I had already dusted off 2 of the bottles of each, and I was down to one of each left, and I was going to hold on to it. I was thinking, I'll save this for winter, right? When I had been taking it daily because you sent it to me, and I was taking it every day, and that's why I dusted through the first 2 bottles. But I was down to my last bottle of each, and I was like, I'm just going to hang on to it till winter comes around. Yeah, I know it's going to be good for colds. I'll probably use it then. Then I started to get that sore throat, and I was like, okay, never mind. I'm going to break these things out right now, and I'm going to hit this thing as hard as I can for the next 2 days before I get on an airplane and go. And by the time I got to Hawaii, I was fine. I was like, thank God. First of all, I'm glad I had it. I'm glad I knew to use it. And I'm glad I had a couple days before the trip to get to work on it. But by the time I got to Hawaii, I was fine. I didn't have any sore throat. I didn't feel bad or anything like that. So look, some results may vary. I'm not trying to say that this is going to work for every single person every single time, but because I can only tell you what it did for me. But that was my personal experience with that. And it was the V-Stack. And that's because, I'm looking at it right now. Vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin D3, zinc, quercetin. It's like, well, this looks like it's going to work. And so let's try it. Let's see what let's see what happens. And it worked for me. So that's all I can say.
Well, here's the thing that's so special about these new tinctures that we have. You originally, when you took the detox and nutrition products, you also took turmeric 100. That was our first of the tinctures. The tinctures are a big deal. I'm actually excited to talk about this because I've only been on one other show where this gal wanted me to go so deep on multi-shroom because it transformed her and her husband's sleep, actually, even though I built it for immune health and anxiety and depression, that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. So I like to explain this stuff. And that's the tough job that I have, is because when you do something right and correct, I'm going against everything. everything that the common knowledge out there, the common knowledge base that's been purported out there. So let me explain this and why these things are working so damn good. It's because I read a study one day, Charlie, that had 63 people in it, and they were taking turmeric. They were actually taking the curcuminoids, the active in turmeric root that's an anti-inflammatory, right? Mm-hmm. And it worked really well for them. They did a process where they made those curcuminoids very small mechanically, so small that they can go through the blood-brain barrier, highly hyper absorbable. And then they found out that when they suspended it in liquid, it got even more absorbable, because it was going through the mucous membrane in the mouth of these people in this study directly into the blood and directly into the blood cell itself, like just right in. So it's almost like an oral IV. It's like literally going through the mouth. It's just almost like an injection. Right. The results were 185-fold reduction in anti-inflammatory action in the body. Jesus. Not 185%. I'm reading the study. I had the double read, 185-fold. And I was like, that's 185 times more anti-inflammatory, and no black pepper with the turmeric. Because the reason why people are taking black pepper is because when you take turmeric orally and it goes to the digestive tract, people have malabsorption issues. They're dehydrated, cellular inflammation, poor fat membranes around the cell. There's all these things impeding people from getting what you eat. Very little actually makes the cell. With this stuff, we can use way, 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 way less, because it's direct to the cell. It's not going to the digestive tract. Right. So I saw this. I sent it over to Dr. Treadwell. I was like, dude, can we do this? He's like, yeah, we have to get one of these machines. They're very expensive, but we can do this. And we did it. So we put the vitamin A in there from beta carotene, from vegetables, vitamin C from the camu berry, vitamin D3 from lichen. Lichen is actually even better than the probiotic type, the cholecalciferol. They're both good. I have the cholecalciferol in Green 85. But this lichen stuff is amazing. Zinc, which actually chelated. It's not rock zinc. It's not a rock. Okay. This has been chelated with plant amino acids, so it breaks it down and it makes it more absorbable and more usable in the human body. And then the quercetin we use is from the Sephora japonica flower. All these things are naturally occurring in nature. And then we put a full multi-mineral complex in there, fulvics and humics. So this is a complete multi-mineral. And it's 5 other products: vitamin A, C, D3, zinc, and quercetin. So it's literally 6 products in one, because we don't need to take as much of them. It's a very lengthy process. We put it in there. It all gets super tiny. And we suspend it in a liquid. It's like a 2-week process, dude, to do this. It's like 4 times the cost of the raw materials. But what you end up with is something you can shake up really good, squirt it in your mouth, wait 15 to 30 seconds, and it goes right into your bloodstream. And in 5 minutes, whatever you took it's in your entire bloodstream in 5 minutes, and it's in your cells. Yeah. So after we built the turmeric product, the next one that came out was V-Stack, and we use the same proprietary cellular absorption system. So when you see it, you'll be like, oh, it's only got whatever it is, 6.66 grams of, or whatever, 3.6 grams of or milligrams of vitamin C in there, but it's the equivalent of 300 milligrams, right? And you'll see a small amount of D3, because everybody's sold, you need 4,000 to 5,000 international units of vitamin D3. When they read our label, it's like, it shows very little, but it's equivalent to 10,000 IUs, because it's going directly into the blood. Wow. You see the difference? Yeah. So this is where the educational component comes in. It's like, it's the equivalent, because we're using a different pathway. There is no black pepper needed in the turmeric or anything else, because it's literally like an oral IV. And it just makes it simple. So it also makes it affordable, because people don't have to go out and spend $200 to $600. It's under $80 for all of it, and it's accomplishing 6 products in one. That's what's cool about it.
I think that people just don't know where to go. Yeah, there's so much confusion. You don't know where to go and what to buy. And with vitamins, whenever I'm doing like a live ad read about Chemical Free Body, I sort of mentioned that this is a scammy industry. Vitamins, there's a lot of questionable stuff. People do they work? Do they not work? I'm so grateful that I've got you and Chemical Free Body involved with me, because I know your stuff works. At least I know it works. So I know from experience that it works. And so in a world of vitamins, 1 million vitamins, obviously a multi-billion-dollar industry, you don't know where to go. You don't know, is this stuff good? Is, you're almost kind of guessing. So I like that people can, they at least know that if they go through you, you're so insane about this stuff that, you're so insane about the chemical free body that you've got a shirt on that is made without chemicals, that has printed ink on it, and the ink doesn't have chemicals in it. Like, you are a deranged lunatic, Tim James. But I love you for that. And
what does my shirt say, dude? What does my shirt say?
It says ingredients matter. Of course. Yeah, of course. So it's like, it's one thing to know that you need to do this stuff, right? Okay. First step is, I got to take better care of myself. All right. I'm going to do it. And then you go, all right, now where do I start? Like, there's a million companies out here. Fine. Oh, so now you're at chemical free body. And you go, all right, well, this looks like the best of the best, the best of the group. What are we working with here? Well, you might think that you need to go out and buy big boxes of this. And the irony is that it's a 2-ounce bottle. That's all it is. It's so small. It's like a dropper in your mouth. And it's got all of these products all wrapped up into one. I think it's, it's helpful for people to be able to cut through all the nonsense of the vitamin grift that people don't know, I'm going to piss it out. It's never going to work. It's never going to get absorbed. You go through all this trouble, you listen, you take notes. I need vitamin C. I need all this stuff. And then you go out and buy something that doesn't even get absorbed into your body. And it's like, what's the point? So,
well, yeah, it's dude, the vitamin C's out there, most of them actually come from genetically modified corn glucose.
Oh God,
corn sugar. So it's actually a synthetic. We were just showing this last night. You can look at through Kirlian photography. You can see vitamin C ascorbic acid versus vitamin C naturally occurring from like Arceola cherry. It's night and day. It's like when you look at it, you can see it. A little kid, hey, which one do you like? Every time the kid's like, boop, the 6-year-old kid will tell you, they'll point at the naturally occurring one every single time. It's built into us instinctually. All right. So that's VStack. It's a big thing. It's simple. What are some other things you can do to boost your immune system during the holidays? Well, one thing you can do is actually essential oils. Essential oils are really good. So I'll just tell the story. And what I do is I put them on my body. You put them on the bottom of your feet. I've got a diffuser behind my Himalayan salt lamp back there, and it's putting them up in the air. You can breathe them in, especially at night. This is really good. Just at nighttime, you don't want to do the same oil every night. You want to rotate at least 4 oils in a rotation, at least 4 when you're sleeping. But here's the deal. So back in Pharaoh days, right, in the Egyptian pyramids and all that stuff, they had a plague. The plagues would come through. Everybody pretty much knows about this in history, right? Charlie, you know about this, right? The plagues and the Pharaoh. Yeah. All right. So what ended up happening was these people were stealing. They were going around because everybody was like dying in their house and they couldn't defend themselves. So these robbers would come in and take their jewelry and they were just lying there. They couldn't do anything. The king found out about it and he said, go arrest them and bring them to me because I want to know why the hell they're not getting sick and dying, because they're going around stealing everything from all these sick people and they're fine. They're healthy. Well, they brought him in and they said, well, and he said, how are you doing this? He said, well, we're not just thieves, we're traders. And one of the things we trade is essential oils. Ooh. And things like cinnamon essential oil, clove essential oil, rosemary essential oil, lemon essential oil, orange essential oil, these types of things, eucalyptus. All right. So there was a blend of those and they called it thieves. So there was a company that came out. It's called Young Living, I think. Mm-hmm. They're a network marketing company, and they have a bunch of oils. And one of the blends was called Thieves, named after that. What the pharaohs, those trades people that were stealing everything, the thieves, and what they did. And then there's another company that came out called that broke off, I believe, from Young Living, and they're called doTERRA, and they have one called On Guard. Right. There's lots of, but here's the deal. It's like 95% of the essential oils out there are also crap. So you have to find ones that are decent, at least decent, but high quality for me. Right. So anyway, that's another thing you can do. It's actually part of our airplane protocol as well. So we were going to talk about that. So I'll just divert onto that. So if you're traveling, what we'd have people do is they bring their water, they put a couple drops of, the On Guard or the Thieves blend in there, or eucalyptus or whatever. And then you drink that while you're traveling, and these are antimicrobial. That's what they are. And you also, there's another product called Cell Food, CELLFOOD. It's an oxygenator. You can put drops of that in your water, and you're putting oxygen into your body. Oxygen kills viruses, bacteria, mold, yeast, fungus, parasites. So the more oxygenated your body is, the better. So essential oils in the water and Cell Food in the water. And then what we'd also have people do is take a colloidal silver nasal spray and 2 shots up each nostril every hour on the hour while you're in a plane. Why would you want to do this? Because in a plane, the air is recycling, and 10 to 15% of people on the plane are going to get sick after they're on a plane flight. That's just the way it is. So you want to keep the first part of your immune system, like you want to have all the oxygenated, and then you can put the silver in there, and you're creating a protective barrier, right, for you. Now, it's like makes all colloidal silvers obsolete. It's called electric silver solution. You don't even know about it yet.
I do, because I was just on the website looking at it, and I saw electric silver solution. But you're right, it was the first time I had seen this. But I know what colloidal silver is, but I didn't know that you had even an option for this.
Well, yeah, because what's happened is, like, I always tell people, do not drink the colloidal silvers unless it's an emergency, because when you drink it, not only would it kill the bad bacteria, but it's killing your good bacteria, which is part of your immune system. So then silver was the original antibiotic, because if you look at the periodic table, it's kind of interesting. Silver is actually missing an electron, so it's always searching for electrons. That's why it works so well on bacteria and yeast and fungus and mold, because it's actually stealing electrons from them and killing them. It's kind of cool. But the silver that we have, you can actually drink it. So before, I would always tell people, don't drink the silver, just up the nose, so it goes through the respiratory tract into the bloodstream that way, not going through the digestive tract, because we don't want to disrupt your gut microbiome. But now we have a product, you can actually drink gallons of it. I didn't say you do that. So just a couple teaspoons a day, morning and night. It actually goes in and balances the bacteria. It kills the bad, but not the good. It's freaking sweet. So that's something you can do on an airplane protocol. Essential oils in the water, Cell Food in the water, and then do a nasal spray up the nose, or actually now with our electric silver, you could actually drink it. You could actually just drink it, have it with you, and you could drink it, a little sip of it every hour in the hour, and you're going to be dialed. That's how you're going to protect yourself when you're traveling and on an airplane. If you're around a bunch of peeps, and you're not sleeping and stuff.
Yeah. Wow. What a great. I mean, when you get on that airplane, that you're going to hear somebody sneezing 2 rows back, and you're like, okay, this is going to be bad. And if it's the beginning of your trip and you're on your way to grandma's house for Christmas or something, you're like, oh shit, I'm going to bring this to them. I'm going to get sick, and then I'm going to give it to everyone else. So I like that you've got these tips for traveling, because it's part of the thing we think of when you do all that traveling. It's exhausting. Flying around it's you would think, oh, I'm just sitting there. How strenuous can it be? You're always exhausted. The air is no good. You're interacting with, you're forced in with a bunch of people. You're breathing recycled air. You're breathing in whatever.
Plus the radiation from the plane. There's a lot of radiation when you're on a plane.
That's fun too. Yeah. So let's add that to it.
So that would actually be another thing. You'd want to wear some type of something to block or diffuse, radiation, because planes do have a lot of it. It's like having a lot of X-rays every time you fly.
Yeah. I wear a full chainmail body armor suit when I get on an airplane these days, just to give TSA, make them work for their money.
So what else about winterizing? Teas, man. Teas are powerful. Just having hot teas, chamomile tea before you go to bed. Dandelion leaf tea is a nice one. It's kind of a dark, robust tea. You can do that. There's green teas are really good, especially in the morning. You want a little pick-me-up without the crash, because green tea is actually buffered. That actually might be a thing. So for the coffee drinkers out there, there's a few things I want to share with you. Number one, if you want to drink coffee, fine. You just got to know what it's doing. Most of the just don't drink moldy coffee, please. Most of the coffee is moldy. You're drinking mold. It's nasty. It's gross. You want it because it's grown out in the sun. It's supposed to be grown in the shade. So you want shade-grown, alkalized coffee, basically, because most of it's not, and mold-free. So mold-free, shade-grown. And then there's one more thing. You have to buy some L-theanine drops and put L-theanine in your coffee, and then drink your coffee, because that buffers it. If it's not buffered, it's actually going in, it's eating the myelin sheath around your nerve endings, and it's exposing your nerve endings. That's why when people drink coffee in the beginning, they're like, or they get jittery, It's because you took a live wire that had an insulator on it, the nylon sheath, and you just eroded it, and now the wire's like, and it's out there. So if you put L-theanine in with your coffee, so it's simple, you just buy it and squirt a little bit in there, and then drink it. Now you've buffered your coffee, and now you're not getting mold, and it's not as acidic. So that if you're gonna do coffee, I would say do it that way. Green teas and matcha teas are naturally buffered.
Where would you get this magic coffee?
I know there's one company called Life Boost. They're huge, and they do a pretty good job of it. I think Dave Asprey actually built his whole empire basically selling people mold-free coffee. But so for us, we want it to be shade-grown stuff. I don't really drink coffee myself because I'm so freaking high on the
You're
water,
naturally pumped up.
supplements I take, and it's really interesting. Caffeine doesn't actually give you energy. It blocks your tired receptors. So it's like a fake out.
Oh.
That's what it is. So, but but some people like it, and there's a lot of stuff around it. So I'm gonna say if you're gonna do coffee, just do it right. Get some shade grown, non-moldy, and buffer it with some L-theanine drops.
Let's wrap up with this. Tell everybody first of all, about the Health Hero podcast, and also about your personal coaching, because I get the feeling that there are going to be some people out there that want to do this, think they know how to do it, but maybe want a little professional advice and hand holding to kind of put them on the right track. So what's the best way for people to reach out and get some coaching? I mean, you do group coaching, right? Or do individuals, or how's it working?
we do it all. So if people want to do that, I'm just pulling up the page right now. Let me pull this up because I wanted to share, because they just put some new stuff up on the page. I want to make sure I'm okay. So it's chemicalfreebody.com, and there's different options. You can just do it yourself, right? You could just totally do it yourself. You could go to the shop tab. I would suggest you scroll down to savings bundles. That way you get a discount, and then put macro in at checkout. You could start off with the Jumpstart bundle, stick your toes in the water, or you could go all in like Charlie and I did, total energy and detox bundle, and get some of these adaptogens like the turmeric and either the V-Stack or the multi-shroom, and go all in, or pick a bundle in the middle and do what your budget is. You get a double discount, and then we have a double your money back guarantee on all of our products. Now, if you're interested in coaching, anybody, especially that's new, you get the Core 4 Secrets ebook. That's the water, chewing your food, avoiding liquids with meals, and the breath work, plus a bunch of recipes, and I explain everything in detail. But it's simple. It's not some big long deal. It's just, I like things that are easy and simple. Otherwise, it's too much. People just forget about it. Number two, you're going to get if you're new, you're going to get a free 30-minute health strategy session with us. And you can always book those, even if you've been a client for 2 years, you've been buying, and you haven't got a strategy session. So it's free. We have it. We have coaches lined up, myself and other coaches, that will take you for 30 minutes. You actually book a time, and then you'll actually you're going to take 10, 15 minutes. You're going to fill out a form, health history form. So when we're meeting with you, we can accomplish a lot and get a lot of ground covered. And then that's going to let us know whether you want to just go into the group coaching with me, where I go live every Wednesday and I lead a group and we do a topic, and then we do live Q&As. We also have breakout rooms where everybody gets to meet everybody. So we're actually building a community, because some people that are starting to change their life, some people listening are probably going to start laughing, but other people in your life, your family, they're not ready to change yet. And sometimes they can be detrimental to you. So we become like an island for these people. This is a place where you can call home, where everybody else on the call is either trying to lose weight, they've got cancer, they've got Hashimoto's, they've got gut issues, they've got something, the skin issues like I had, they got something, and they are very serious about their health. And they're looking for advice, and it's a place for them to get their questions answered weekly in a live group format, because they can't afford the one-on-one stuff, especially with me. So then I have the next level then is the VIP coaching with our coaches. And that's where it's a 6-month program. And so at the end of that health history call, we'll explain that too, go over the pricing and all that. And then you pick. It's like, hey, I'll just do it myself. I'll get some bundles and listen to Tim's podcast, the Health Hero Show. Right. And some people do that. Some people want to go up the ladder and say, hey, I'm going to get some products, and I'm going to go hire Tim as a coach and the weekly group deal. That's a step up. Or I'm going to go all in. I want my hand held. I'm going to have a private coach holding my hand. And with that, you get me on the weekly too, in the group coaching, and I get the products, and people go all in. So we let people just choose whatever they want, or they can do nothing and they can go figure it out themselves. So the it's like we don't push this on anybody. We're just here for people, and we give you different levels. You can go up the ladder as far as you want, but we are very serious over here about transformation. Like, I am dead dog serious about this, because I shudder to think, like my grandfather died when my dad was like 17 of a heart attack, just poof, gone. And I guess he was the nicest, most lovable guy in the world, and he was the greatest guy. I never got to meet him. Because he didn't know back then, and he was eating crappy foods like other people, and his predisposition to a weakness was actually heart disease. Yeah. So anyway, we don't want that for people, man. We want people to be thriving, right? You should wake up and feel good. And if you have check body lights on, we want to help you. We want to help you, and if something, like I said, our products don't work, we'll double your money back. We'll refund it, but get on the phone with us. Like, we know our products are going to work for like 98% of people up the middle. But for the few people that on the phone with us, we'll find another product or strategy you can do, even if it's another company. I do know other companies. I've helped over a dozen other companies clean up part, if not all, of their supplements. Because what you were saying earlier, man, there's some good people in the industry, but they don't even know. They don't even know what they're selling. They don't even know what their ingredients are. They just think because it's FDA approved or whatever, it's like it's good. It's like, dude, that ingredient is literally destroying client's intestinal lining and yours if you're taking. Are you taking this product? Yeah, destroying your intestinal lining. And they're like, I had no idea.
Yeah,
I had no idea.
Well, look, I think if you're in a position where it's like, I'm making the change, I've made up my mind, I've decided this is the year, this is the time I'm going to do it, then do it. If maybe there's somebody in your life that you want to get it for, maybe it's a Christmas present. Maybe it's, hey, you and I are doing, husband and wife, we're going to do this together starting next year. We're going to really make this commitment. I think it's time. No more excuses, right? No more excuses. Nobody's going to fix your health except you. If you're waiting for somebody to come along and make it all, wave a magic wand and fix you, or give you a pill and say, oh, now you're fixed, but you're just deluding yourself. This is not going to happen. So no more excuses. Be proactive. If you feel good now, great. You're doing things right. If you don't feel good now, here's the good news. It's changeable. It's fixable, but it's just really going to depend on you whether or not you want to do it. Tim, I appreciate you. You're the best. Thank you for coming back on and for educating everybody. Best place for people to find your show?
It's on all podcast link, or it's on all major platforms, wherever people listen to their podcast, except for YouTube, because they shut me down. So
yeah, well, they can't have you actually solving problems.
don't want to talk about the truth or health solutions for people, because they don't like that. So
no, they don't.
Because YouTube is a great platform.
I know. It's a shame. They've screwed up a bunch of people, but we appreciate you. We love you. ChemicalFreeBody.com, promo code macro if you're interested in saving yourself some money. That's Tim James, everybody. If you like this episode, take the additional step right now of sending it to everybody that you know, or maybe just your friends and family. You can follow me on Twitter at macroaggression, the website, theoctopusofglobalcontrol.com. Thanks, everybody. We'll talk to you soon.